In 2011, Kenya rolled its tanks across the arid frontier into Somalia in a mission to piece together a country that was in shreds, staring into an abyss. Well, 8 years later, the war machine is ready to pack up and leave by 2021, hopeful that it has finally broken Al-Shabaab's resistance. Well, NTV's Seth Olale was behind the enemy lines in Somalia and brings you the sights and sounds from the battlefields in tonight's special Over and Out.
The beautiful coastline gives way to a population steeped into the mixed cultures of people who call it home, giving the federal state of Somalia a unique flavor. The land has produced skilled merchants across the world, as well as professionals such as lawyers, doctors and lecturers. But this pride has been turned into shame. Thousands have lost their lives, many more wounded, while others became refugees since the Al-Shabaab terror group took control of central and southern regions of Somalia. But there is hope. AMISOM troops have managed to keep the enemy at bay. But their mission is almost over. And must be out by 2021. Our brief stay in the federal state of Somalia is aimed at finding out how its citizens are taking over the AMISOM mandate ahead of the total 2021 drawdown. For this, we will visit 3 major establishments, a 1 hour 45 minutes flight trip to Somalia's capital, Mogadishu, where we will be briefed by force commanders of AMISOM of how the transition is working. Next, we will take a grueling 3 hour and 45 minutes helicopter ride to the border town of Doble via Kismayu. Here, we will interact with the community and get their views on the efforts of the military-civilian cooperation and whether they are ready for an AMISOM-free Somalia. Kismayu, the capital of Jubaland state, will be our third stop. We will seek assurance from President Ahmed Mohamed Islam Madobe on whether his administration is ready for the unforeseen challenges ahead and the upcoming Jubaland elections, as well as life without AMISOM after 2021. We will then return to Mogadishu to ask Kenya's ambassador to Somalia, retired General Lucas Tumbo, on the implications of the Kenya-Somalia maritime dispute in AMISOM's transition plan. Named after Aden Abdullah Osman Dar, the first president of Somalia, the Aden Abdullah International Airport, formerly Mogadishu International Airport, is a formidable symbol of the working progress and cooperation between the federal government and Africa Mission in Somalia, AMISOM. The facility, which has fully equipped passenger and cargo terminals, is situated within AMISOM's most secured area in the entire state, also known as the Green Zone, that houses command centers for both AMISOM and the UN, as well as embassies. However, it only has one operational runway for both landing and takeoff due to security reasons. Security is highly regarded here due to consistent terror attacks from Al-Shabaab insurgents. Just 2 days before we arrived here, a suicide bomber killed 6 people and severely injured Mogadishu's mayor, Abdirahman Omar Osman, alias Yariso. The mayor, who was receiving treatment in Qatar, succumbed a week later. Al-Shabaab terror group claimed responsibility for the attack, saying it was targeting UN Special Envoy to Somalia, James Swan, an American citizen who had met with the mayor last month.
We have not been able to train enough officers in this VIP unit, protection unit, to go around all the VIPs. That is the shortfall we have.
Barely 2 weeks before the Mogadishu attack, 26 people, including prominent journalist Hodan Nalaye and several foreigners, were killed when a suicide bomber rammed a car containing explosives into Asley Hotel in the port city of Kismayu. Gunmen later stormed the building. Insecurity remains the biggest challenge to AMISOM's handover plan to the federal government of Somalia by 2021, in accordance with the UN's 2472 resolution of 31st May 2019.
There is no other solution but to allow the Somalis to take over responsibility of the security of the country. And everything must be done in that direction.
But help is already within the borders of the federal state of Somalia and is being provided by AMISOM contributing countries led by Kenya. As part of the transition strategy, the Kenya Defense Forces are mentoring Somalia security forces by conducting joint operations against the Al-Shabaab, as well as offering technical military and police training. The main task is to protect population centers for safety, mentor Somalia police and army for 2021 takeover, targeted operations against Al-Shabaab, and creation of a civil administration for governance.
What we are doing is to ensure that once we have taken these towns, then there must be a force to hold and build.
For us to get a clear glimpse of how the initiative is working, we set out 600 kilometers from the capital to one of KDF's front operation base, Doble.
But now, to achieve whatever we wanted, we will achieve. Because tumesongesha hizo timings.
The joint trainings and simulations are majorly conducted at night when there is minimal civilian activity. Also, the community is informed in advance in order to avoid panic from the loud sound of heavy artillery.
Number 2 loaded, ready to fire! Gracious Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you because we know and believe you are going to deliver us for the honor and glory of your name. Not forgetting even our families back in the kingdom of glory. We surrender their lives unto you, dear Heavenly Father. We thank you because you know always.
KDF's commander of the 4,000 troops in Somalia, Brigadier Dixon Ruto, hopes that the mentoring and training of the Somalia security forces will bear fruit when KDF's mandate in Somalia officially comes to an end in 2021.
There will be a security assessment thoroughly done and say, yes, the Somali security forces now are meeting the parameters to take care of their own security. If they don't meet, then I'm sure the UN and the AU will sit down and decide that this parameter has not been met, because it will be pointless for us to abandon the territories that we are currently securing to the Al-Shabaab.
The Somalia National Army says it has benefited from the mentoring process and is now ready for the task that lies ahead.
baan wada shaqeynaa oo fiican oo aan la heli karin baan wada shaqeynaa hadda kaliya ma aha in badan baan soo wada shaqeynay waana sii wada shaqeyn doonaa inta ay joogaan wadanka wax markasta waxna baraan oo ayna soo bareen dalka gudihiisa iyo dibadiisa.
But this joint venture has not been without hiccups. 34-year-old Hajir Abdullahi, a Somalia National Army officer, has had to pay the heavy price of learning how to protect his motherland. On one such operation to flush out the Al-Shabaab, he had his toe ripped off by the enemy's bullet. But even with the injuries, also comes tales of restoration of hope. Just few meters from Hajir lies 5-year-old Deko, recuperating from a deadly ulcer infection. Her mother Gadam Abdi Ali says, was it not for these facilities set up by KDF's operating base in Doble, her son would be dead by now.
6 bilood inta jifaa cunuga waa iskaladan yahay si fiican liigu daaway dad wanaagsan oo amaaday hadaan operation.
Doble residents make up 50% of the close to 170 patients treated here every month. Solomon Wahome heads a team of medical officers who are offering medical training to locals. This level 2 inpatient health center, together with the general hospital situated 3 kilometers away, will be under Jubaland administration when the troops leave here in 2021. You cannot engage people if you don't have services to offer, and KDF under AMISOM understands just that. And that is why the medical equipment being offered today comes as a major relief for community that had no established medical facilities due to conflict.
Work in this Doble General Hospital as a midwife, I appreciate AMISOM level 2 hospital.
Hadan liyada Bankruptcy Global Development oo iyaduna naga caawisa wax badan iyo muxuu ahaa incubator lagu koriyo ilmaha immature-ka ee aan markay dhashaan